Okay, Rio Hondo students, Accounting 102, this is exercise 2615. I'm doing this one also just in case we don't have time in class, and it's also, there's a little bit of just a little bit tricky. This is activity-based costing and product cost distortion. However, the product cost distortion part would be with the single plant-wide rate or the departmental rate, which I may do on a separate, I may do separately in class. I don't think I'll do another separate video on it. Okay, start the timer. Here we go. KitchenCraft Appliance Company manufactures kitchens, appliances, blenders, and toasters. So product A is blenders, and product B is toasters. Your handout may have both or one or the other. KitchenCraft presently uses the multiple production department overhead rate method. Okay, so it's using the department factory overhead rate method. The factory overhead is as follows. For the assembly department and the test department, there's a total. The direct labor information for the production of 5,900 units is right here. Assembly, blenders take up 3,500 direct labor hours. Testing and packing, 10,500 direct labor hours. And toasters, 10,500. Test and packing, 3,500 total. Okay, so notice notice that they're just reverse, just like our example in our PowerPoint presentation. They're just flip-flopped. So this means that you're going to have different ratios of usage. In other words, one department is the heavy user, provider of direct labor for one of the products, and the other one is for the other. Let's see which one's heavy. Obviously, if the testing and packing department does more of the direct labor, provide more of the direct labor hours, they're heavier, and in that one, and the assembly is in the toasters, so those are heavily weighted. So in other words, going with the department rate would be much better than the single plant-wide rate, but let's just let's go ahead and do the problem because we did that example in class, so I don't need to do that again. Okay, here's the trick. All right. It wants to look at, and the management has asked you to use activity-based costing to allocate factory overhead to the two products. Okay, you've determined that 51,000 of factory overhead from each of the production departments can be associated with setup activity. So we're starting a new activity. Okay, and new activity, and the new activity is setups. And this is very often the first activity that activity-based costing establishes. It's the setup. If one product takes much more time to set up than the other, it pays off to allocate the factory overhead costs related to setups, because it'll make a big difference in the product cost, and that's the bottom line here. Okay, so 51,000 of factory overhead from each of the production departments can be associated with the setup activity, 102,000 total. So what we have to do is we have to subtract that out. Okay, setups, we have to subtract out 51,000 and 51,000 here. And so then we have 415 minus 51,000 is 364,000. And here we have 149 divided by 51. Minus 51 is 98,000. Okay, I'm just going to double check those because I haven't done it this way before. 149, 364 plus 51 is 415. Okay, and the total should be 102. 12 carrier 1. Okay, so 364. All right, so it is 564 minus 102 is 462,000, which is what we have. Okay, 462,000. All right. Then company records indicate that product A requires 70 setups and product B requires 130 setups. So there is quite a difference between the two. But the total setups is 200, or 70 plus 130. So we have the departmental rate for the rest of the stuff, and we need to do a rate for the 200 setups. Okay, we have $102,000 for the setups divided by 200 setups, and that is going to be $510 per setup. Okay, all right. Now, for the rest, we need to divide by the number of direct labor hours, because that is how the rest of factory overhead is allocated. Later on, we might develop some other cost pools to, if it pays off cost benefit wise, to do that. Okay, so we want to divide by, this is going to be a divide by also, divide by 14,000. And that equals $26. 98,000 divided by 14,000 is $7. Okay. Okay. $26 per direct labor hour and $7 per direct labor hour. Okay. Now, all right. Determine all three activity rates. We've done that. Assembly activity is 26. Test and pack is 7. Notice the big difference between these departments, so we really should use the departmental rather than the plant-wide rate. And then now we're starting into activity-based costing. Per setup is $510. Let's see if it makes a difference. So total factory overhead, and we need more room to do this. Let's see. All right. Assembly. So for a blender, okay, we have the activity usage and the rate. We're going to have 3 different rates. So we have the assembly rate, which is 26, and we have that, so it is $26 times the 3,500. We're doing the blenders, so times 3,500 plus $7 times 10,500, so that's for the test and pack, okay, times 10,500. We're still working on the blenders here, plus, and then we have $510 times, let's write the setups here because we don't have, they tell us in the product A requires 70 setups, okay, and product B requires 130. Okay, I should have in my I should have gone across here. This is the way we're going. Blenders for 3,500, 10,500, and 70. Okay, $510 times 70. All right, so we add those across, and we get the total is 200,200, and we need to divide that by the number of units, and the production volume. Each product has a production volume of 5,900. So we're going to divide that by 5,900 equals $33.93. Okay, B toaster. Okay, and I wanted to change to green or blue. Let's blue. Okay, toaster. So here we have $26 again. Okay, I'm going to just move this up just a hair so you can see this. How's that? Okay, 26. Yeah, let's move that over. Okay. All right. $26 times, and here we're going across. Okay, a little bit over 10 minutes, but hang in there with me. $26 times 10,500 plus our $7, and that's going to times 3,500 plus $510 times 130. So this product uses a lot more setups. The total of that is $363,800 divided by 5,900 units, and that is $61.66. So even though we make the same number of units and the same departments are making them, because of the direct labor cost in it's a crossing basis in the direct laborers put in is much higher for test and pack with blenders than it is with toasters, and the reverse for the assembly, and the setups are much different as well, that it makes almost a doubling of the cost. The toasters cost so much more than the blenders. And that's it for this problem. I hope you get this, and email me if you have any questions.